As fans of video games with great gameplay and gripping narratives, we love our main characters. From the stoically heroic to the desperately tragic, compelling characters captivate both our hearts and our minds. Great protagonists shape not only the narrative of great stories, but our connections to their game. We put ourselves in their shoes and become invested in their journeys. The very best characters, however, are complex and flawed. They don't just bring something to the story, they bring nearly everything. The best of the best characters feel real, and even when we don't agree with them, we at least understand them. So, this list doesn't break down the best heroes in gaming. They're the best main characters, and they shape the world around them for better or for worse. Without further ado, these are the best main characters in gaming history, ranked. Also, remember that this list is subjective, so if you don't see your favorite main character on this list, make sure to let us know down in the comments below. And finally, warning, major story spoilers for the games discussed below, so please, don't get mad. Number 10, Senua, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Senua's story leads her down a twisting path filled with Norse mythology and endless tragedy. She hears voices all around her, some speaking directly to her, some sharing the lore of the setting, and others whispering about her endlessly. Her visions take the form of puzzles, illusions, enemies, and so much more. In the world of Hellblade, Senua can't even trust herself or the world around her. Senua makes the list because of her sheer determination to bring back the man she loves, no matter the cost. She isn't just on a journey filled with physical peril. Her mind is fractured. She can't trust what she sees or what she hears. But she continues on her path regardless. Senua isn't just a main character, she's a tragic hero with a haunted past. Number 9, Clementine, Telltale's The Walking Dead. The journey of Clementine is one filled with love, loss, and horror. The realities of the new world are difficult for a child to even comprehend, and she's forced to grow up fast. Players have the opportunity to watch Clementine grow over the many chapters of Telltale's The Walking Dead, and the focused scope of her narrative is often more compelling than The Walking Dead's usual ensemble storytelling. Clementine easily makes the list due to her journey through a vicious apocalypse. While she may lose her innocence along the way, she never loses her heart and her soul. The story of Clementine rivals and in many ways even surpasses the very best storytelling within the Walking Dead universe. Her story is one of growth and determination through continuous hardship and loss. Number 8, Peter Parker, Marvel's Spider-Man series. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 uses the sinister intentions of the symbiote suit to shine a light on Pete's insecurities. While he often gives more to Spider-Man than he does to his true identity, he still feels insufficient. He wants to be a better hero, a better Spider-Man, and he shoulders the weight of New York City on his shoulders. While his intentions are always good, he tears apart his life and relationships because of his dual life. Peter makes the list because of his relentless desire to do good. He's a hero through and through, oftentimes giving too much of himself to help others. While he suffers loss and pain at the hands of his villains, he never truly stops believing in second chances for those villains he puts away. Insomniac's version of Pete is complex and highlights the constant strain of being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Number 7, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider series. Lara Croft has been a staple in gaming since the early days of the PlayStation 1. She's gaming royalty, and her reboot series highlighted her best characteristics. She's a dangerous survivor who can adapt to her surroundings effortlessly. Whether she's crafting weapons to fend off dangerous animals or leaping from the water to strike down a foe, she's one of the original action heroes in the world of gaming. Lara makes the list not only because of her legacy in gaming, but also because she's as dangerous as she is crafty. There isn't a puzzle she can't solve, not a riddle she can't crack, and whether it's interacting with new cultures or fending off dangerous mercenaries, she's always up to the task. She's a worthy successor to Indiana Jones and is in part the obvious inspiration for Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. Number 6. Joel Miller, The Last of Us Parts 1 and 2. The story of Joel is one of total loss. After the death of his daughter on Outbreak Day, Joel becomes one of the most brutal survivors around. His brother, Tommy, even has nightmares about the things Joel did to protect them. Tommy even questions if it was all worth it, if they didn't lose something of themselves along the way. Yet, despite his initial disdain and objections to traveling with Ellie, Joel comes to love this orphaned girl like a daughter and reclaims a piece of himself through the two's relationship. Joel doesn't make the list for being a hero. He makes the list for being a father who damned the world to save his found daughter, Ellie. Joel couldn't comprehend losing another person he cared about this deeply, and despite Ellie's willingness to sacrifice everything, Joel denies humanity a chance at a cure in the name of saving this relationship. Thanks to Joel, The Last of Us is a story of love and how it can be both twisted and pure simultaneously. Number 5. Commander Shepard, Mass Effect series. When everyone tells you the Reaper threat isn't real, you tell them you'll just save everyone yourself. Shepard and their crew are humanity's last hope. With the Reaper threat looming, they do everything they can to prepare the galaxy for war. There's no limit to what they'll sacrifice to save everyone from a threat the Council refuses to acknowledge. Whether you play male or female, renegade or paragon, Commander Shepard is the last hope for humanity. Shepard gets the job done, whether it's a suicide mission or a direct fight against the Reapers. And Shepard is relentless and earns their spot on this list for stopping at nothing to save the galaxy from the Reaper threat. However, Shepard is more than just a soldier. Their story is one of companionship and love as much as it is danger and heroism. Number 4. Geralt, The Witcher series. The Witcher stories never work in terms of absolute good and bad. Characters and storylines tend to be more complicated than that, and it's a gray world Geralt has to constantly parse through. While he's certainly a monster hunter for hire, he isn't just that hired sword. He isn't afraid to dispense justice, but he never really labels it that way in his mind. And his adopted daughter Ciri follows in his footsteps as a Witcher. Witchers are something that's dying out in the world, and Geralt knows it. However, he also knows that there's no true end to the presence of monstrosity in his complicated world. He has earned his place on this list for his wisdom and fearlessness in the face of danger. He's never one to shy away from a complicated situation, and while he has his own sense of right and wrong, his decisions are ultimately entirely subjective. Number 3. Kratos, God of War series. The story of Kratos is a long and complicated one, but the reboot of the series shows us a wise man instead of the brute of his past. Kratos has taken time to reflect on his actions and even distances himself from his son for fear of the boy ending up just like him. His journey with his son to scatter his wife's ashes in God of War 2018 turns out to be one of prophecy. And while Kratos can see the literal writing on the wall, he doesn't believe anyone is tied to their fate. Kratos has earned his spot on this list with his remarkable transformation from a man out for blood to a wise warrior seeking to do better. He's forced into the true role of a father when his wife passes and he's left to raise his son, Atreus, alone. As they journey together, Kratos teaches his son the responsibilities of being a god and the need to do better than those that came before. In the end, Kratos even convinces Thor that their role as destroyers is not set in stone. Number 2. Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2. Arthur's story is one of dedication and loyalty. He's a man who would do anything for his best friend Dutch and their gang. And yes, he does have a plan. However, Arthur recognizes that their days of cowboying and robbing are coming to an end. While Dutch practically goes mad trying to find ways to maintain their lifestyle, Arthur is prepared to face the music. He even recognizes that some things, like their life as a gang, were never really meant to last. Arthur takes the second spot on this list for embodying one of the best character arcs in gaming ever. Despite his cowboy gang lifestyle, Arthur tries to do right in the end. He never believes he can do enough right to make up for the bad he has done in the past, but he does what he can anyway. He even helps set up John Marston, the main character of the first Red Dead Redemption, with a better life for him and his family. In the end, Arthur's final moments are tragic and gut-wrenching. There has never been a cowboy quite like Arthur, and there may never be one again. Number 1. Ellie Williams, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. Ellie's journey is a complicated and controversial one, but it might just be the best in all of gaming. After being bitten and realizing she was immune to the illness that toppled society, Ellie becomes humanity's greatest hope for a cure. She journeys with Joel to meet up with the Fireflies, all the while learning the lifestyle of a brutal survivor. While she could have turned back and lived a quiet life with Joel and Jackson, she insists on finding the Fireflies. After all, her life can't be for nothing. Ellie takes the top spot on the list for her complexity and growth as a character. While her journey isn't one of a hero, it's a very human story, wrought with empathy and vulnerability. After Joel is killed in Part 2, Ellie swears to get revenge. She travels across the country to seek out Joel's killer. No matter what she loses, she continues to sacrifice herself and her friends in the name of this vendetta, even giving up her chance at having a family to hunt down Abby once again. Yet her journey extends beyond her capabilities for revenge, ultimately settling in the melancholic realizations of how to grieve and how to move beyond hate, loss, and trauma. Although divisive, Ellie is fundamentally a tragic character whose journey acts as a cautionary tale about hate born from love. And that's our list of the best main characters in gaming history. Miss any of your favorites? Make sure to let us know down in the comments below who you think deserves to be on the list. And while you're down there, make sure to like the video. It lets us know if you want more content just like this one. For more gaming lists, subscribe to DualShockers and click the bell icon to be notified whenever we post more top 10 videos.